Yo, so I got a question today from a bro who wants to know, yo, Elliot, based on a previous video that you made, what if your mom's experience while you are in her womb, pregnant, right? Weird question so far, right? Like, what happens if your mom, while she's pregnant with you, loses her father while she's pregnant with you, right? Like, I think that would cause depression and sadness for the child as well. So this kind of goes back, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this goes to a question that I answered not too long ago about like the impact of the thoughts that even your ancestors had on your life today. And I wasn't talking about generational curses or sins. I was talking about the literal and material existence of choices that are made based on thoughts that are had that is repetitive over generations, right? You know, like obesity, right? It's like one of those things like, oh, I'm obese because my parents are obese and they have the obese gene. It's like, no. They turned on the obese gene by eating a bunch of junk food, and you saw them eating junk food and they fed you junk food. Now you eat junk food and it turns on your genetics, right? And so I think this is a good segue into the topic of epigenetics, right? So when you're in utero, right? When you're being knit in your mommy's womb, right? When she has you in there, you guys are actually more like one being. You're very much connected. No two people are that close ever, right? No matter how close you are to your wife, you were never that much inside her, right? That she was just nourishing you with everything that she has. And according to Bruce Lipton, who's an author and a scientist, doctor, I studied a lot of his work. He talked about epigenetics, which means above genetics. Epi, upper genetics, above genetics. He's talking about how the thoughts that your mother has, the experiences that she has, even before she's pregnant with you, that vibe somehow can make itself known in utero, in the fetus. And that vibe, and science is figuring this shit out now. It's all brand new. It sounds woo-woo, but like, yo, if you pay attention, this is what they're saying, dude. Certain vibes, certain thoughts, and thoughts are vibrations, right? I mean, that's physics, right? It doesn't make me a hippie because I'm saying vibes, because vibes, like, we're all fucking vibration. Every cell in your body is vibrating. Everything is vibrating. Everything is vibration. That's scientific, right? That's not woo-woo. That's scientific. Those vibes, even like the frequencies that, like our cell phone frequencies, these are frequencies, they're vibes. What are they discovering about the vibes? They mutate our genetics. These cell phone vibes mutate our genetics. We are literally being mutated by the vibes around us. And some are good and some are bad. Have you ever been around people who have like good vibes? And like, you're a better person. You're a happier person. Life is just different when you're around somebody with a different vibe. And according to epigenetics, it isn't just that you're just feeling better, but over time, your genetics actually change, right? Scientists in the past have said that we have a bunch of junk DNA. Well, God don't make no junk, right? I used to have a picture like that in my room my mom made. My mom put in my closet when I was a kid. Said, I know I'm somebody because God don't make no junk, right? Anyway, point is, God don't make any junk. God doesn't make any fucking junk DNA. You have no junk body parts. Just that, this is thought of that is silly. Come on, science. Really? You said junk? But anyway, that's what they do when they don't understand certain things. But they're waking up. That's why science is cool, right? Science is cool because it's like, okay, well, they're willing to like explore. Oh, wait, we didn't get it all. And the new science, epigenetics, which is sort of like married to quantum physics, which is, it's wild stuff, is showing that our genetics actually change based on the vibe. Your mommy's vibe. If your mom was angry, you're going to have angry genetics turned on. You're going to feel angry. You don't even know why the fuck you're angry. I don't know why I'm angry. Why do I have this problem? I have and all kinds of like blockages in your life, blockages to abundance, blockages to relationships, blockages to purpose. A lot of it can come from, blockages that your parents had on a literal genetic level, epigenetic level. But it goes further. And, I spoke a lot about this in the previous video, that based on attachment theory, Daniel Siegel, and the vagus nerve, and apparently the vagus nerve, it's somehow like works with the prefrontal cortex, and then literally the vagus nerve, they call it the vagus nerve because it's wandering, right, is all throughout our heart and our solar plexus, like it goes all the way down here. So it's literally a part of your brain that goes down into your organs and it innervates, right? It may be the second, what you would call like brain stem, your spine. What is it in your spine? The cord, right? Spinal cord. It's like a second spinal cord. Obviously, it's not in the spinal. It's like in the front. It's like a frontal spinal cord, right? Like this is what they discovered. Robert Porges multivagal theory, polyvagal theory. Like you could study all this shit. I'm just giving you references. I'm not a genius in this stuff. I just, I'm curious. I'm a dilettante. So you could go look up all that stuff. And apparently, based on the way your mom looks at you when you're a baby, according to Daniel Siegel, the look on her face, it is mirrored by the prefrontal cortex, right? That we have mirror neurons, right? Which literally what we look at imprints itself into us, right? We take it on. And it's so funny. I have something else to say about that. But anyway, so, and then it stimulates the heart. It stimulates the emotions. It stimulates feeling. And it changes the whole mode and vibe of the child based on the way the mommy was, right? So there's none of this stuff, I don't know, none of this stuff is not that crazy. It makes sense. Here's an interesting thing though, about how you know this is true based on what's happening in the face and how it affects the emotions. I recently read an article about women or even men, these people who use a lot of Botox, right? And if you never know somebody who takes like a lot of Botox, it shuts off the muscles in the face. So these people, they don't move their face when they speak or they have an emotion, right? And because they're not moving their faces, when they look at other people who have emotional, right? You know, somebody talking to you and they're upset, you can see the emotion on their face. Based on interpersonal neurobiology, we make subtle movements in our face to mimic the faces that we're seeing so that we can be empathetic and we can feel another person's emotion. Is this making sense? You ever catch yourself like watching a movie and like you're actually mad and you can feel your face like mad about what's happening, or you're scared for what's happening? Well, nothing's happening to you. You're just watching somebody else's emotion. When you look at somebody else's emotion, just notice if you see their face, your face will make subtle changes. These people who have Botox, their face doesn't make the move. And if the face doesn't make the move, the body doesn't receive the feeling. And so a lot of them you might call like narcissists, right? Like, if you're thinking about like, a middle-aged woman who's trying to date again and she's got a bunch of Botox and like nobody wants, another man like her. And then, they say she's a narcissist or something like that. It could be induced based on the fact that like you just can't move your face. So you have no emotions. And so you can't relate. That person is detached, right? So a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of jargon there. I like your question. The reason why I brought it up is because I think we need to be mindful of the reality that we are an open system as human beings. And we've been an open system from the beginning, and we've been most open to the influence of our moms in our wombs. And so whatever you see in yourself that is reflective of things that maybe aren't the most positive in your mother in particular, right? It's both parents, but in your mother in particular, you have to recognize that like you've taken that on from her and it doesn't actually belong to you. Your fear doesn't actually belong to you. Your anger doesn't actually belong to you. It's been given to you based on these experiences and the science of epigenetics and interpersonal neurobiology. Hope that helps, dude. Done.